Swing with Chi, and we are here today to see how to cut the easiest way to cut our bubu trousers. Okay, bubu trouser is a trouser that is very simple. It's not supposed to take you more than 30 minutes to cut it. So in case if you want, it's not something difficult. It's not like you shouldn't pay attention to details, but it's not something that is that very difficult that you will not want to do. Okay, now for this bubu trouser measurements, what we need is our waist, which is 24. But I will tell us how to do this waist because it's supposed to be a free style and has a free waist and has elastic at the band. Okay, now if you look at that trouser properly, you see it has a band, so the elastic will be behind because nobody really is paying attention to the back. So the front is where we are going to concentrate on, where the band will really show, right? So now what we need is waist 24, hips 27, laps which is thigh 15. Then we have the crotch depth which is 8. Please make sure to go and watch this crotch depth. Watch how to get this crotch depth. Then we now have our waist to hips which is 6, and then the full length which is 31. Now for making this trouser, we actually do not really need this waist measurement. Whatever we got in the hips, we remove at least 1 inch from it. Okay, remove 1 or 2 inch from it because it's supposed to be a free trouser for anybody. So remove 1 or 2 inches from the hips, and that will serve for our waist line. Now the first thing you do is to impute your hips. We'll start with our vertical measurements first before we now come to the horizontal measurement, because it's the vertical measurements that will carry the horizontal measurements, right? Now these are the vertical measurements. We'll start with that one. Now we'll have to impute. Remember, place your borderline first of all. I have placed my borderline of 1 inch. Now from that, and this borderline is now serving as where we are going to impute our waist measurement. Now from that borderline, we'll now measure waist to hips, which is 6 inches. Okay, waist to, then we have our crotch measurement, which is 8 inches. Then the full length, which goes down, right? Now I want to concentrate on this place because this trouser is not pencil, so we will not be needing the knee measurement. Whatever you get from the thigh goes straight down. Okay, and is a free trouser. Now we'll still measure it here again so that our ruler will be placed perfectly and crotch 8. Okay, then we use our ruler to square that out. This is measuring, cutting our trouser in 10 minutes. It's as easy as that. Okay, for this person, the hips, after imputing this hip line, we'll measure it, we'll tell it this is the hip line and this is the crotch line. Now we'll measure, we are imputing this hip line and the crotch line. We have labeled it. We'll now start imputing our measurements. Now this person's hip is 27, but because this is a free trouser, we'll add his allowance of about 3 inches or 3.5. Now I want to add his allowance of 3 inches, which is hips 27 plus 3. We'll now have 30. You understand? This 30 is now what we are going to divide by 4. Now 30 divided by 4 is equals to 7.5. Okay, so that is what we are going to be imputing on this our hip line. $7.5. We still impute it again on the crotch line. 7.5. We still impute it again on the waistline. Okay, 7.5. Right, that is all. Then we square it out. We'll now go to our waistline. Okay, we'll now go to our waistline. Now on the waistline, like I said, I took this measurement because of a trouser I'm making that is supposed to be a fitted trouser, but this is like a palazzo trouser, so it doesn't need the waist allowance or the waist measurement. What we really need is the hips. Now these hips, we are now going to take away only 1 inches from these hips. Now when measuring the waist, remember that the person should put the tape where the person is comfortable with. If it's a high waist trouser, you know the crotch line will be longer. If it is a low waist trouser, you know the crotch line will be longer. Please do well to watch my video on how to take accurate measurements. Okay, so now from the waist that I measured, this person is a low waist trouser. Now the waist is 24, but I'm saying I'm not going to use this 24. I will be using her hips measurement, which is 27. Now this 27, I'm going to remove 2 inches from it. I'm going to remove 1 inch from this 27. Okay, now if I remove 1 inch on the waistline, I will remove 1 inch from 27. That is 27 minus 1, which is equals to 26. Okay, which is equals to, so that 26 is what we are dividing by 4. What we got is 6.5. Now we impute it here on our waistline. 6.5. We impute it here on our waistline. Now we come down to create a curve. Because of this measurement is for a child, that is why I'm making it 1 inch. If it's an adult, this measurement is this crotch curve here, because we want to create this curve that will form the flap of your trouser. Now what we are going to be measuring from here, we'll measure 1 inch here from this corner. Place your ruler like so and measure 1 inch to create that crotch curve. Now also on this area, you measure 1.5. Okay, so now you are going to use the ruler to create a kind of beautiful curve. Okay, you see our trouser is taking shape. On this hip line, you will use this ruler to make a perfect curve from the waist down. Also, if you want this trouser to be fitted, then you add the tie line. But if not, you take it down, which is the lapse, which is 15. So let's assume we would have measured here, okay, but because it's a palazzo trouser, we don't really need it. This trouser is a very free trouser, we don't need the tie line. Okay, but then had it been is a fitted trouser and we need the tie line, which is the lapse, then it's always 2 inches below the crotch line. Let's assume this is where we are going to mark it, and then this 15 inches divided by 2, this is where we'll place it. Subsequently, in the next video, we'll be talking about fitted trouser, but for today we are talking about this boo-boo trouser that is showing here, and I want to tell you it's a trouser you can cut within 10 minutes. 10 minutes, you are done. Okay, then the next thing is to shape our trouser, and to shape our trouser we need this measurement here on this crotch. Now from here to here is 9.5. Okay, so 9.5, we divide it into 2. We want to get the middle. We divide it into 2, 4.75. Okay, so we mark it here 4.75. we mark it here. We also mark it on our hip line. We also mark it on our waistline. We also mark it, you keep marking it 4.75 down. Okay, now you use your ruler to connect like so. You use your ruler to connect. Keep marking it down to the hemline, to the length that you want. This is now your center line, which is that line they call ghetto in trouser. Okay, this is now your center line, and this is the line that will help you to shape this trouser. Now if you want it pencil, okay, I'm coming. Now if you want it pencil, that means on this hemline, now that is a palazzo, we don't want it to be shaped. Whatever we have here should be here. So now we want, so you just connect. And you just connect here. This is your palazzo trouser. So you cut it out. so that you can start cutting the back. Our complete front pattern. Okay, on this waist side, now, you just give like 1/2 inch. That is all. Your band will be fixed here. It depends on how the length of band you want to use. Now this length of trouser, remember that the band is not included. If your length of trouser is 39, that means you would have minus the number inches you want the band to carry. If you want the band to be 1.5, you would have minused it before you start working on this one. So if your length is 39, it's now going to be 39 minus 1.5. Whatever you get will now be the length you use to work on this one. So after you are done cutting your front and back pattern, you now cut your band. Okay, that is if you want to make a trouser that has band. Like these ones you are seeing in these pictures, they have band. Okay, and that band is 2 inches or 1.5. So I've already minused it before I started working on the length of this pattern. Okay, so now we are going to be cutting out our back pattern. Now in cutting out our back pattern, we only need to work on 3 areas, which is here, which is here, and which is here. That's the only areas we need to work on. And the only thing you are going to be doing on this back pattern is when you, this area, you come down by 1/2 inch. Come down this way by 1/2 inch. Add 1/2 inch to this crotch depth. Now, on this area, shift your hand. For an adult is 2 inches, but since I'm making for a child, is 1 inch on this area. Now I will go up by same 1 inch. Okay, now whatsoever I have here, which is 7 inches, I'm going to be placing it this way. Now extend this waist. Extend this waist. Extend this waist. Okay, now whatsoever I have here, you measure it, you place it on this line. Now I have 7 inches here. That 7 inches, I'll bring it down and place it here. This is where it ended. Okay, now you will gently take your ruler and place it here. Then you smoothen it out. You smoothen it out. That is all. You smoothen it out to now follow the curve. This is your back pattern, guys, and that is all. Remember to put 1/2 inch at this edge, because it's this 1/2 inch that you'll be using to join in the band. Okay, this is the back pattern and this is the front pattern. Thank you for watching. I hope this our illustration is helpful. See you at the next video. Bye.